We are previewing Week 12 in the NFL here at SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking with Troy West from allplayswin.com, and he has chosen the Arizona-San Francisco game to analyze with us. Another interesting one, Troy West. I think I have a good read on this game. We'll see if you agree with me. Right now, San Francisco is a 10 or 10.5 point home underdog, and of course, that line makes sense. It's a lost season for San Francisco. They came off the bye, and they got blasted by Seattle. They were a 14.5 point underdog at one point, but they still lost by 16 to Seattle. And Arizona, of course, huge game against Cincinnati, and they wound up gutting out a win in that one. Very exciting game. Wound up getting the win. They didn't get the cover, though. My sense is, though, that this is a little bit of a letdown spot for Arizona, not enough of a letdown spot that I think they're in danger necessarily of losing outright, but I think it's too many points. I have the same feeling about this game as I had about San Francisco's game, their last game before the bye. I think that was against Atlanta, right? And they wound up winning that one outright, but they were a big home underdog there. I liked San Francisco in that one. I wound up betting them, and they wound up obviously getting the cover. I have the same sense here. I don't think San Francisco is going to win, but I think at plus 10.5, they're worth a decent bet. Arizona is a little bit banged up. It's tough to go into San Francisco. You know, the turf there is a little bit messed up. And I see a lower scoring and more competitive game, I think, than the market's giving credit for. Do you agree with that, Troy, or disagree?
I would disagree. I disagree. Okay. You know, I don't like going, like you said, Pete, double-digit home dogs.
10 or 10.5, Troy West. That's a massive road favorite.
10.5. Guess what? They were 13 or 14 against Seattle last week and got buried last week. Lose by 16. Scoreboard didn't even really reflect how that game went. It was domination for the most part. I think, you know, you could argue that this could be a letdown game for Arizona, but I think Arizona knows what they're playing for. They're playing for home field advantage throughout the playoffs,
sure,
or at least the first round bye. If Arizona wins out at this point, they will get a first round bye. They're ahead of Green Bay and they're ahead of Minnesota. So I think the implications for this game is Arizona and Bruce Arians' coach football team. There's no letdown in this team. Absolutely not.
Right.
This is a piss poor 49er team led by Blaine Gabbert. They've got no weapons on the outside. Their running game is a disaster. I like the 31-10 Arizona, 28-10, but they'll cover 10.5, no problem. I like the Cardinals to get it done.
All right. Yeah, I also lean to the under, which, based on the final scores you just quoted, would also cash. Yeah, I guess a letdown spot is a little bit strong, but I would say maybe like a 3/4 letdown spot or something like that, and just at the line, 10 or 10.5 strikes me as too much. But I'm also leaning under as well. The market is all over the place with the total 44.5, 45, or 45.5 market wide. I would lean towards the under on that one, and it's a split line. Troy West, like in Arizona, -10. I would lean San Francisco plus 10.5. We're going head to head here, Troy West. I mean, you mentioned the Seattle game. That was on the road. Seattle, a notoriously difficult place to go in and play on the road. And San Francisco, kind of the same way at home. It's just like a weird turf. It's a little bit of a tough place to go in and get a big margin, win, especially at this point in the year, right?
I just disagree. I think Arizona, like I said, they have so much to play for at this point. I like the win that they're coming off of, getting that game-winning field goal. I like the momentum that they bring into this game. I know they are a little bit banged up, but I just think pound for pound, it is a division game. It's a very important game for Arizona. This is a team that's on a mission. 9-2 is in their sight, and I do think they'll win by 2 touchdowns.
There we go. That's it. Me and Troy West going head-to-head. I will say I'm not in love with San Francisco plus 10.5, but that is the play that I'm liking. Troy West, though, liking Arizona -10. Troy West, tell us about your website, allplayswin.com.
Hey, thanks, Pete. I appreciate it. We're coming off one of our best weekends of the year. We've been profitable in college, profitable in the NFL. Come take a look at what we're doing. We got some outstanding plays going on Thanksgiving and on into the weekend. I've got especially good play going on Friday in college football. Happy to give it to you for free. Come take a look at what we're doing at allplayswin.com. I truly believe it's a one-stop shop in this industry.
Okay, thanks, Troy.
Thanks, guys.